Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a whole new way of thinking about mental self-care. It's a fresh take that suggests that to really take care of your mind in this high-pressure world, you actually have to start with your heart. So what's that all about? Let's find out. Okay, so let me ask you this, straight up. Does it feel like you're living in a pressure zone? You know, that feeling of constantly juggling deadlines, expectations, and a to-do list that just never, ever ends. If you're nodding along right now, you are in exactly the right place. And listen, the first thing you need to hear is that you are so not alone in feeling this way. In fact, you could say we're in the middle of a global lethargy pandemic. That feeling of being completely drained, it's not some personal failure. It's a really widespread, shared experience in our world today. So let's start decoding this modern burnout. What's really going on here? And maybe the most important question is, why does all this mental and emotional exhaustion feel so incredibly, physical? The answer, it turns out, is in the science of stress. This brings us to a really fascinating, almost a paradox, right? Is it actually possible to have all the symptoms of depression, that total depletion, the flatness, the lack of energy, without actually feeling sad in that traditional way we think of depression? Well, research is showing the answer is a resounding yes. And there's a name for this. It's called inflammatory depression. Now, this is the absolute key. That nonstop chronic stress doesn't just hang out in your head. It actually triggers a physical inflammatory response throughout your body. And that inflammation is what causes that deep, bone-tired feeling of lethargy and burnout. It's a physical condition, not just a state of mind. And this helps us split stress into two different types. First, you've got the first stress. That's the external trigger, right? The project deadline that pops up, the tough conversation you have to have. But the real problem, the real energy drain, comes from the second stress. That's our internal reaction. It's that negative self-talk, that worry loop that goes on in our heads. That's the true source of the exhaustion. But here's where things get really exciting. We're about to pivot from the problem to the solution, because we're going to talk about your brain's very own resilience engine. It's like we're about to unlock a hidden superpower that you've had all along. So let's start with a bit of a provocative question. Imagine I showed you two brain scans. Could you tell me which one shows the physical signs of Alzheimer's dementia? Just take a second and think about it. Well, the surprising and, frankly, totally mind-blowing answer is that when it comes to how a person actually functions in their day-to-day life, it might not actually matter which is which. Yeah, you heard me right. This idea really challenges everything we thought we knew about the brain. So what on earth is going on? The reason is this powerful concept called cognitive reserve. The best way to think about it is like a mental resilience bank account. It's your brain's incredible ability to find new routes, to create workarounds, and to keep functioning normally, even when it's facing physical damage or the effects of aging. You are literally building a mental savings account to protect you down the road. And this isn't just a nice idea. The science backs it up. The higher your cognitive reserve, the better your brain can handle whatever life throws at it as it gets older. This is our best defense, not just against long-term decline, but against that daily inflammatory burnout we were just talking about. Okay, so if cognitive reserve is our goal, how do we actually build it? How do we make deposits into that mental bank account? We can start by powering up our resilience with what we'll call a burnout and lethargy detox. To do that, we need to get familiar with our resilience pulse. I love this metaphor. It's the natural rhythm of your mental and emotional recovery. And just like a physical pulse, it can be strong and steady, or it can be weak and faint. Our goal is pretty simple. We want to power it up. So this detox has three main steps. First, you have to understand the healing paradox. You know how sometimes you take a long vacation and come back feeling like you need a vacation from your vacation? That's it. True recovery isn't about one grand gesture. It's all about consistency. Which leads right into step 2. You have to master the minor break. This is a total game changer. Instead of waiting for the weekend, you integrate these short 5-minute strategic pauses throughout your day. It is so much more effective at fighting off that physical inflammation. And finally, a huge one. Reclaim your lunch break. No more eating at your desk while scrolling. Treat it as a sacred mental reset. Step away, change your environment, and give your brain an actual pause. Okay, so now let's pull all these threads together in our final section, which is all about adopting a growth mindset. This isn't just about coping with right now. This is about actively shaping and changing your own future. And this quote right here is really the mission statement for this whole approach. A growth mindset to overcome crisis and change my future. It's the core belief that you can use challenges, even a full-blown crisis, as the very fuel you need for growth. It's an active, powerful stance. This mindset is really built on two crucial pillars. The first one is to wait for change, which is really about embracing patience. Let's be honest, building cognitive reserve and rewiring our stress habits doesn't happen overnight. The second pillar is to expand your network. Burnout absolutely thrives in isolation. Building genuine connections with people gives you new perspectives and reinforces your own resilience. So the path forward, the way out of the pressure zone and away from that inflammatory burnout, it isn't about hustling harder or grinding more. The real answer is about cultivating two things: connection with others and patience with yourself. And that brings us to the end of this explainer. I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Looking at everything we've covered, from those minor breaks to your mindset, what is one small, concrete step you can take today to start powering up your own resilience pulse? Thanks for watching.